I want to make homemade breakfast sandwiches this morning, but I'm out of English muffins, so let's make some. In a bowl, start by adding 1 1/4 cups of warm water, 1 teaspoon of yeast, and 2 teaspoons of honey. Let that sit and get foamy for about 10 minutes. If the yeast doesn't get foamy, it's no good. You need to start over. Then to that, we need to add 2 tablespoons of melted and cooled butter, a teaspoon of salt, and 3 cups of flour. I'm going to use a wooden spoon and mix everything together, and then once all the ingredients are combined, I'm going to pour this out onto a floured surface and knead it for 5 minutes. I'm going to add more flour as needed for this dough because it is quite sticky, so just keep adding flour until it's no longer sticky. And then I'm going to put the dough back into the bowl, cover it, and let it rise for 1 hour. Once it's doubled in size, pour it back out onto your surface and divide it into 10 equal pieces. I do have a piece of parchment paper on a cookie sheet over there with some cornmeal on it, and you need to just kind of pat the dough balls into the cornmeal. You want cornmeal on both sides of the dough, and then cover it for about 20 more minutes and let them rise. And then in a preheated greased cast iron skillet, put 5 or however many fit in and cover the pan for about 8 to 9 minutes. At the 8-minute mark, I'm going to check mine and they are ready to be turned. So I'm going to flip them and then I'm going to cover it again for another 4 to 5 minutes. You do want to make sure you stay close to the pan. You can smell them, so you know when they're done because you can smell them. They smell delicious. And then once you get the first batch done, make the second batch, and now let's assemble our breakfast sandwiches. These are really hot, so I probably should have waited a moment or so, but then I'm going to spread some butter on each side of this English muffin because everything's better with butter. And then I'm going to put a piece of sausage and a piece of cheddar cheese, and of course I did pay the cheese tax. And then a fried egg, and then I'm going to put the top on the muffin, and now I have homemade English muffins for delicious, yummy breakfast sandwiches. Enjoy!